Hello everybody, I'm Elwirfy and today we're back playing some more of Stories from Seoul, the Gun Dog. I'm loving this game. This is so funny. Um, I don't know if the game meant to be this funny or maybe it's me interpreting it, but I've really loved playing this game so far. It's been fantastic. Let's go ahead and talk now that we're here. Hey, want to see something cool? I feel like this may be a bad idea, but go on. Alright. I've always loved your sense of adventure. I guess that's fair. Now check this out. If you work your fingers under the bottom of one of these panels by your bunk, you can take off its mounting and there's a recess behind it that you can stash contraband in. Why are you telling me this? I'm the I'm the security officer. You shouldn't be saying this to me. Oh, how about this floor panel? Did you know that if you use something strong enough to pry it open that it leads to a crawl space below the decks that you can use to get into other areas of the ship? Yeah. She's so shocked. Alright, but I bet you didn't know that if you logged into your terminal and entered a secret code that you can play Snake. That too, sorry. Well, fine. I guess you probably know every secret on the ship then. I probably do, since I'm the security guy. Well, not every secret, but I am a security officer. There, I said it. Yeah. I've seen and caught every trick there is when it comes to contraband. Crew breaking, fraterization rules, or system exploits. Alright, cool. Great. I'd have to get pretty technical. Sorry, it'd have to get pretty technical to get past me. Okay, fair enough. Okay, yeah, so she didn't really like that. Wait, how do you know all this? Oh, well, that is back to the tour. Okay. Am I supposed to use anything? My terminal's still showing that I need to go talk to the captain. Right! We gotta talk to the captain. Alright. Actually, you know what I just realized? For gameplay purposes? I realized I forgot to talk to... I forgot to talk to the other person. Never mind. Alright. Alright. What are we missing? Let's go to the central hub. So we did this aft thoroughfare. Have I been here? I don't think I've been here. As you two leave the central hub behind you, you travel down the aft side thoroughfare. The hum of the engines continues to grow louder. You'd effectively filtered the noise out in the rest of the ship, but as you get closer to the rear, its volume increased considerably. Are the engines supposed to be that loud? Are the what? I said, are the engines supposed to be that loud? The what? Oh my god. I said, are the engines? I heard you the first time. I'm just messing with you. You could have fooled me. I've never been on a ship where the engines are so noticeable. Is it supposed to be like that? Supposed to? Not really. But the Gundog is a Swift class, a type of patrol ship that is designed for rapid response. They're made to cover large areas of space quickly and offer basic assistance to ships in distress. That, or to be the first on the scene to gather intel and issue warnings if anyone comes too close to Jovian space. Which means, design-wise, they've prioritized speed above everything else. So we have, like, oversized engines. I guess the best way to sum it up is that the Gundog is basically a huge set of engines with a tiny ship strapped to them. That's great. Well, that's reassuring. Oh, it's fine. It just means there's no space for systems like motion dampeners or soundproofing. You'll miss it when you leave. I don't think I will. Am I supposed to look? That way leads to the engineering block. From there, you can access the engine room, the main computer, and most of the ship systems. Although you won't be going anywhere near those systems if the chief has anything to say about it. So, let's go to the armory. You swipe your keycard through the card reader set into the terminal bay by the armory's door. Instead of the door opening, as you would expect, you hear a harsh tone from the terminal. I'm the security officer, though. Looking at the screen, you see a message displayed in large flashing letters. Access denied. Insufficient authority. Really? It looks like your clearance hasn't been fully processed yet. You'll have to meet the captain before you can get into that room. Okay. That's fine. Wait, use. What can I use? Move to the... Oh, no, we already did that. Engineering? Ah, engineering. Cool. As the two of you continue through the aft thoroughfare, the hum of the engines grows louder still. Okay. The featureless paneling that has made up the majority of the ship's interior quickly gives way to visible pipes and conduits, and eventually the smooth flooring transitions into grating, revealing more workings underfoot. Cool. Finally, the thoroughfare leads you to one huge open chamber filled with masses of machinery. The terminal panel is set into the side of various apparatus cycle through different readings, the light from the scenes reflected off ducts and values. All this equipment is separated by a grid of catwalks and access ladders. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. That's fair. A lot of stuff is right. Alright. This is the central engineering. Pretty much every system aside from the engines themselves and the central computer can be found in this room. Okay. All in one place. Isn't that a little risky? Well, a Swift-class ship relies on an absolutely minimal crew. The Gundog only has 2 engineers. I think they figured it'd be easier on them if everything that was important was kept in one place. That way they don't have to run from one end of the ship to another to get all their repairs done if something goes wrong. That makes sense. Huh, you certainly know a lot about the ship's engineering. What can I say? I'm a pretty talented individual. Alright, cool. Oh yeah, whilst we're here, you can share some of that knowledge. What's that over there? I assume I just pointed at something random. That's the phonetic conversion unit. And what's that? Oh, that's the Omniface Wane Shaft. Uh-huh. What about that? That's the Turbonaculator? Every day's a school day. Alright. I am head of operations, not chief engineer, okay? I don't need to know what... Hey, no one better be screwing around up there. Oh, man. You both jump as a stern voice barks at you from below. Looking down, you see through the grating that there's another catwalk situated below the one you're stood on, with a crew member moving at speed towards the ladder that joins the 2 walkways. I swear, if I find so much as a single terminal readout out of place, I'm stuffing the 2 of you into the organics processing system. Oh, that is nasty. If I have to retrieve one more pen from behind the compressors, the crew member continues to grumble as they ascend. Quinn, you better not be here to tell me your favorite pen has somehow fallen into the system block again. No, Chief. Got it right here. Damn straight you do. Now make sure you hang on to that one, or you're going to need someone to pull you out of the system block instead. Okay. And who's this? Our wayward security officer. You got a name there? You quickly throw a sharp salute as the woman in front of you without even checking her rank first. Wait, really? Why would I salute her if well, because she called us chief, that's why. Okay. Not only does she loom over you physically, but you quickly pick up on a force of personality that feels like it adds an extra 6 inches to her considerable stature. Okay. Lieutenant Worf, security officer for the JFS Gundog, ma'am. Okay. Less of that ma'am business, Worf. My name's Mackenzie Cathy's, chief engineer, but that's chief to you. Okay. Yes, chief. Damn straight. Now, what are you two doing in engineering? I was just giving Lieutenant Worf a tour of the ship, chief. Okay. Is that so? You've never been on a ship before, Lieutenant. First assignment? Never on a Swift class, Chief. I've only served on the strike or supply classes to date. That's so? Which strike vessels? The JFS Victory and the JFS Thunderbolt, Chief. Victory and Thunderbolt, huh? Don't think either of those 2 are less than 3 years old, so probably wouldn't have seen what the new streamlined distribution systems. I wonder if you would have seen the power coils, though. I think the Victory was part of that production. Maybe. You and Cassandra exchange a quick, nervous glance as the chief, who previously seemed like she was about to physically throw both of you out of engineering, suddenly begins a conversation with herself. Okay. You continue to stand at nervous attention as she ruminates about ship components. Chief, is there anything I can help you about those ships? Oh, huh? Lieutenants didn't realize you were still here. Now you're off the... No, you're off the hook, Worf. Okay. Not unless you can tell me whether the Victory was outfitted with 3rd generation B-Pack upgrades anyway. Sorry, Chief. Don't think I could. Wonder if that's because the retrofitting takes into account space awaiting in the ship's interior for minimal travel impact, although it could be that it takes... I think now would be a good time for us to move on. Good idea. Well, that's all, Chief. We'll just be going now. Oh, yeah, sure. Just don't let me catch you screwing around in here again. Should we talk to people? Yeah, we can talk to more people. Yes, Lieutenant. Well, Chief, I was just stopping by to tell me, Worfs, what is it that the ship security officer in a vessel with only 10 crew does all day? Oh, so that is because I'll tell you what a chief engineer does. A chief engineer spends every damn minute of the day trying to keep pace with all the systems on board this vessel, making sure they're running absolutely flawlessly. You know why? Because if I don't, then it's a thin line between optimum comfort and horrific death in the cold expanse we call space. That is a fair job to do. That's good job. So I'll be frank, Lieutenant. Unless you're about to help me redirect these condensers while I refresh the primary moisture chamber, then I don't know what good is going to come from you hanging around distracting me. Understood? Alright, I'll leave her alone. Jeez. Okay. Well done. If you really want something to do, you can go check up on the junior engineer in the hangar. Kid's probably slowed down since I last put the fear of the void into him. Wow. Yikes. Okay, but really, when Chief says we shouldn't screw around in here, she's right. We should probably get moving. What did you do? Why would he say that? Really though, what did... Oh my god. Who the hell dropped a chocolate bar onto the secondary moisture converter? Oh my god. That's awesome. Oh my god, that is fantastic. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. It's melted into the outlet valve. I'll kill him. Oh my god. Cassie has ruined a lot of the ship. Engines. The two of you watch from around the corner as the Chief, Cathways, continues to mutter herself, paces back and forth, checking the terminal readouts and various displays. Eventually, she heads down the ladder that she'd climbed to confront you. Now out of sight, Cassandra darts toward the engine room, gesturing you over. Checking over your shoulder, in case the Chief has reappeared, you make your way to her just in time for the doorway to the engine room to open and Cassandra to disappear inside before you can raise an objection. Well, it's got to be better than staying here with the Chief. The room you find yourself in is in similar size to the area you just left, but whilst that was crammed and full of huge range of machinery, this room is almost entirely filled by one colossal cylindrical device. The pulse of the engine is now a tangible sensation as vibrations emits shake your whole body. Okay. So this is the main engine. Well, one of them anyway. Like Chief said, the ship's outfitted with 2 of these. I see what you meant. You said the Gundog's a huge set of engines with a ship strapped to them. This thing's massive. I know. I look at it and feel like I could probably fit the rest of the ship in this room if the engine weren't there. Oh, okay. Got it. That makes sense. Sorry, my mic's being a bit weird. Hold on. Apologize for the adjustment. Hopefully that sounds better. Chief, that's because it's impossible to get the Higgs field distribution drive to be any smaller. Aha, Chief. Chief, you said that... So these engines are actually a combination of nuclear pulse engines built around the Higgs field distortion drive. It's the HFDD, if the HFDD wasn't here, then this engine would be about 10 times smaller than it is. So we could have had a smaller engine, but we decided not to. That's great. Although I hear they've managed to improve the efficiency of newer NPEs, so it's possible that the space saving could be more like 11 times smaller. Can either of you tell me how HFDD works? HFDD? Higgs field distortion drive. What are they really teaching you at the Academy? It's the drive that allows ships to move far beyond the speeds allowed by conventional engines. So FTL, although it's nowhere near faster than light. So it's not FTL. It's what lets us get around the solar system without needing to worry about whether we'll live long enough to see the end of the journey. Anyway, everyone knows about the existence of the Higgs field. It's what allows interactions with the Higgs boson that gives particles their mass. Oh, right. So, what the drive does is warp the field relative to the ship and those aboard. Okay. By doing this, it displaces the mass to a different area of space, but within the same relative. As the chief continues on with her explanation, you glance at Cassandra and see she's thinly veiled look of terror on her face. You can't blame her as you feel much the same way caught in this impromptu lecture. Then, because of the particles retain their relationship with each other, the general perception is that things are the same as normal. However, from an exterior perspective, the lecture drags on and you quickly lose track of the chief's explanation. Although you recognize the words she's saying, you can no longer make sense of the context, and they come to seem like a complete meaningless string of words. I bet I could have followed it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So the field is it's got the mass, which is pushed? No. How to put it? Okay, so imagine that space is like a ketchup packet, and you're the sauce. The sauce? Right, the sauce. Now, what the distortion drive does, it looks like a thumb on the universe of the packet. It moves the sauce around by changing the shape of the packet to push the sauce. The packet is the universe where the sauce in the drive is a thumb? You've got it. Okay. You quickly glance back at Cassandra and meet her eyes as she's doing the same thing. You know for certain that neither of you have got it. I feel like the ketchup thing actually made it worse. I thought I understood it, but now I'm confused again. This does not make sense. And that's why these engines have to be so big to house that drive. Oh, it all makes sense now. I see. Yes, definitely. Great. Well, now that you appreciate the science behind it, I won't have to throw you out of here. Thanks, Chief. Anytime. Just remember, Lieutenant. Yes, Chief? Screw with anything, and I'll throw you out of the airlock instead. Yes, Chief. Okay. Sauce? God. I think I know what I'm going to name this episode, guys. I think it's going to be Sauce. I have a feeling. Okay, let's just talk to Cassandra. There's not much to do here. So, we're the sauce. Right. And the universe is the packet. I thought that the field was the packet. But then is the field in the universe or the universe in the field? Wait, I think we're both confused. We're going to have some very theoretically challenging meal times. Can we use something? I can't be 100% certain that the chief was joking when she offered me the only way out of the trip was the airlock. I'll leave it alone. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to engineering. We already did these talking points. You could go to the central computer. You swipe your key card through the card reader set into the terminal by the door, leading to the central computer. The door doesn't open, and instead you hear harsh tone from the terminal, which is now displaying an error message. Looking at the screen, you can see the message displayed in large, flashing letters. Access denied, insufficient authority. Maybe we should just go and talk. Yeah, even with your security clearance. Yeah, because the staff is so small, the ship's computer handles a lot of tasks that it would normally be done by the crew. It controls a lot of really sensitive functions, so only the captain and operations team are allowed access. Oh, I don't think any of the ships I've been on have had a computer system like this. The bigger ships usually have their computing distributed among multiple systems across the ship, but because they've also got larger crews, there's more that the people on board are responsible for. I think that because the Swift class is so small and there's such a limited crew, they need to assign more functionality to the computer. Because of that, it's a lot more vital that no one screws around with it. I see. You said that the operations have access. Can we look using your authority? Well, since the whole reason I'm here is that I didn't exactly take my responsibilities with the Reliance computer system seriously, the captains told me not to mess around with it. Fair. But it's not that interesting anyway. Okay. Seems like it's time to get out of here. Let's go to the central hub. Alright. So I think we've covered everything now at this point. Let's go to the bridge. You step from the elevator onto the bridge, and what seems to have been a pretty quiet atmosphere, it turns totally silent as the two women present who had previously been observing the screen turn to face you. You identify the captain almost immediately by her uniform, although you are given a pause to wonder if you've misjudged, as she listlessly straightens up and heads over to you with an air of disinterest. Well, she's got a captain hat too, so that makes sense. And the other woman shoots you a look, but remains seated at her station, quickly turning away when she realizes you've caught her looking your way. Okay. The curtness of her reaction catches you off guard as she quickly returns to what she'd been doing before you entered. Hopefully Cassie's presence can thaw what you might feel might be a cold reception. Lieutenant Riley Wirfs entering the bridge and reporting for formal assignment. All right, cool. We're getting this on the road. You declare, throwing a sharp salute with Cassandra quickly following suit. Lieutenant Commander Cassandra Quinn entering the bridge in accompaniment of Lieutenant Wirfs. Dope. You're taken aback slightly as you realize that you've hardly ever seen Cassie be serious about anything, even her position. Whenever she's had to talk about her assignment, it's always been dismissive or in a joking way. You're caught so off guard that you almost miss the captain addressing you. At ease, Lieutenant Commander. You and Cassie both lower your salutes and loosen your posture slightly. There's a slight pause, which you can tell is the captain sizing you up. This informal assessment lasts a little bit longer than you're comfortable with, until the captain releases a heavy sigh. Welcome aboard, Lieutenant. I was beginning to get worried that the notification we'd had that you come aboard had been a system issue. I trust that you haven't had too hard a time finding your way to the bridge to introduce yourself. No, ma'am, I was just... You glance over at Cassandra, who is maintaining a completely straight face. We could check out anywhere you want before we head up there. Yeah, right. That's fantastic. I love that. You fix your gaze staring straight ahead. This wouldn't be the first time that Cassandra's lackadaisical attitude had got you in trouble with her higher-ups. Wow. So Cassandra's just not responsible. I was just familiarizing myself with the ship in case I came up with any queries that I could field to you. Oh, is that so? Well, anything you'd like to ask? No, ma'am. Very good. Well, I'm glad you could make it. Eventually. This mission is an urgent one, which is why we departed as soon as you came aboard without a formal reception. Okay. Thinking about it, it was universal that there hadn't been a formal onboarding process beyond the dock staff checking your ID and guiding you to the gun dog. You realized in your rush, you did not realize in your rush, but now it was obvious. But it did make sense that if this was an urgent dispatch, the ship would launch as soon as all of its crew were on board. My apologies, ma'am. My transport was running late. Yes, we'd been sent word. That wouldn't have anything to do with you, would it? My transport? I don't think my transport would. No, ma'am. There was a breakdown on the... Anyway, Lieutenant, I'd like to take the opportunity to formally welcome you to the JFS Gundog. Okay. My name is Captain Marys Bartimeus. I run a tight ship as you'd expect, and I anticipate that you'll carry out your duties on the same standard. Sure, yeah. Yes, ma'am. From my experience, most onboarding procedures have involved greetings and speeches from the captain that have ranged from serious to almost ceremonial. In comparison, Captain Bartimeus' introduction is almost lethargic. Your card, Lieutenant? Yes, ma'am. The item button will activate when you are able to use items that are in your inventory. In some cases, you will need to use an item to proceed, but in others, whether you use an item or not is up to you. When possible, select the item button to open up the inventory and select the item itself to use. To dismiss the inventory, select it again. Your card, Lieutenant. She inspects it for a moment before taking it to the control panel near the captain's chair. You remain in position, not quite at ease, but not quite at attention. You watch as she enters some commands into the console and inserts your card into a slot. There's a whirring sound followed by a series of beeps before your card is ejected, and the captain takes it back. By selecting the function button, you can now access a map of the ship, allowing you to move from one location to another without visiting areas in between. Oh, we got fast travel. Oh, we should have gone to the captain right away. Dang it. Well, at least I learned the layout of the ship. If an event happens somewhere on the way, you will move to that location instead. Okay. You can also view your current objectives and other important information. To return, select the function button again. Map. Whoa, this is a big... Cassandra's quarters. Priority check. Crew quarters 2. Mess hall. Okay, it's just the core, primary engine. Whoa. Your quarters. Okay, so our quarters are like that. This is a weird layout for a ship. Life support. Armory. Oh, should we go to the armory? Okay. With this, Lieutenant Wirfs, you now have access to all areas and authorities benefiting the ship's security detail. Your responsibilities begin with immediate effect. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Alright. You're also now authorized to take an appropriate electroshock weapon from the armory. If you have any further questions, then you know where to find me. Dismissed. Hey, I met the captain. Alright, let's look around. With the exception of some physical controls, a ship the size of the Gundog can be controlled entirely from the bridge. Navigation, automated combat systems, security measures, you name it. It can all be done by a few cute crew members in this room. Okay, let's see. The bridge is one of the few places on any ship where you can actually see out into space. Cool. During combat, these windows are covered by blast shutters, and the bridge crew relies on sensors and a small cameras mounted on the ship's exterior. Sure. That's the captain's chair, although the majority of the ship can be controlled by operations staff. There's a few select systems that can only the captain can authorize, and they're all done from that chair. You need a captain's clearance level to access them, though, so it's not like you can just sit down and activate them. Should we talk? Yeah, let's talk to some people, I guess. Sure. Yes, Lieutenant? Captain, when I received my posting to the Gundog, I was informed of my role, but I didn't receive the ship's briefing documents. If I may, what's the Gundog's objective? We've been alerted by another Swift-class patrol vessel. The O'Brien is about signals coming from the edge of our territory. The O'Brien is currently on a solo patrol in outer Jovian space, so we've been sent to provide backup or support as necessary. Of course, if something were to attack two Swifts, it's not as if they could put up much of a fight. Really, it's more that we're out there, so if anything does happen, at least one vessel will be able to get away to warn the colony fleet. Oh my God, we're gonna ditch them. We are here to be the lone survivor. Okay, I see. Oh, did I just say that out loud? Yes, ma'am. Whoops. Forget what I just said. That's an order. Yes, ma'am. Okay, great. Oh, this game's so funny. All right, Vanessa. Excuse me, Lieutenant. I'm currently on duty, so I would appreciate it if you did not disturb me. Lieutenant Wirfs is the ship's head of security. Since I'm here, you can take time to introduce yourself formally. Great, I've got this. See you in 5. So you're the security officer that Cassandra's been going on about. That's right, Lieutenant Riley Wirfs. Pleased to meet you. Cool. Well, I'm Vanessa Lord. I serve as on the bridge as part of operations. Cassandra's told me a lot about you. Okay. Is that right? What kind of... I'm disappointed that you're nowhere near as attractive as she made you out to be. I saw my what I look like when we did the hug thing. Like, I don't think I look ugly. Oh, is that right? Oh, I'm personally offended. Yeah, I am personally offended. That's messed up. Who just says that to someone? I thought it was too good to be true that some dashing officer would be transferred here at the last moment. Instead, we've just got another lunk. Wow. She's kind of rude. Well, how is it you've even got transferred here on such short notice? I was looking over your records earlier, and you were mid-assignment on the Duke. Why would they transfer you instead of... Whoa, hey, look at the time. I think here breaks over, Lieutenant Commander Quinn. I think Vanessa needs to get back to her station. Oh my god. Of course, I hope this is the start of a productive working relationship between the two of you. No, she's trash. Vanessa, I'll catch up with you later, okay? Okay, that's great. We'll go ahead and end the episode here before we talk to Cassandra. So, thank you all for watching, guys. As always, I'm Elwirfy. I'll definitely see you guys next time, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already.